Would you like to be somebody who understands what kind of advice I would give to a 14-year-old boy? Then listen to the end of this video where I explain how there's a lot of pressure to grow up in high school when you're 14 years old, especially pressure from girls and the desire to be cool. But if you fall for that temptation, I think your growth later on in life stifles and you lose your curiosity and your sort of childlike joy, let's say. So before we get into this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about self-development, dating, Jungian psychology, and how to reduce suffering in life. Let's get into it. So Edix Animations commented on one of my last videos asking for advice that I would give to a 14-year-old, and I said the following. So when answering the question, I realized, I tried to reflect on what was going on in my life when I was a 14-year-old boy. And I wanted to be cool. I wanted to have status in high school and I wanted attention from girls, obviously. But also, I wanted to just like hang out with friends and have fun, really. So what advice I would give to a 14-year-old nowadays is to a 14-year-old boy, because boys and girls have different things going on in their life when they're 14 years old. I would advise the kid, the 14-year-old, to resist the pressure of growing up, the external pressure. So, for example, the girls in your class will desire guys who are older and more mature, because women tend to mature earlier than boys. So they'll be after like guys who are physically more developed and have more, let's say, status in, let's say, the hierarchy of high school. Now, that might pressurize you to grow up yourself because you think, oh, I need to be on the level of these older guys because I see these girls in my class that I hang out with and talk to and how they want older guys, but I want these girls. Like, these are, my age group. It's quite a confusing thing. You need to be patient and just be patient, really. It's funny because the girls at that age have the bargaining power. They are the ones who, let's say, who the guys want at that age. And they choose, who to go on dates with or who to have a relationship with, not really the guys. But later on in life, it starts to change. And the reason why girls mature so early is because their biological clock, let's say, peaks a lot earlier than men. And, if they want to have children, women, they need to sort their life out earlier because after the age of 35 or something, it gets really difficult to have kids. So they basically need to have their entire life sorted out by the age of 30 or something, or 35. And that's a big pressure. Women might not be conscious of it, but it's definitely there. So that's why women tend to start maturing a lot earlier, I would say. Whereas guys can mature way later or need to sort out their life way later. Yeah. And in high school, there are clear hierarchies of who is cool and who is a loser. And I remember those kids who started drinking earlier or sort of losing their virginity early, they were certainly the ones who were cool because they were grown up. They had status, let's say, and you also want to have that, and you might be inclined to try drinking and losing your virginity early also, but be careful because you'll grow up too quickly, and I'll get to that in a second. Instead, I would advise you to listen to what you really want to do, what you're authentically interested in as a 14-year-old boy. Just go out and have fun with your friends doing calculated, stupid things, and childish things. And when I mean childish, I think most 14-year-old boys still have authentically, really, if they listen to their true self, they still just want to do stupid things that young boys want to do. For example, when I was 14, or no, I was even 16 then, I think. This is, by the way, the best memories of high school by far, was me and my friends decided to do fencing. Now, fencing is not what you think it is. Fencing, in our case, what we understood was you find a line of houses that are next to each other, and in a group of guys, you run from garden to garden over the fences, and people are falling over left, right, and center. It's like Pamplona, where, you know, when you have the balls running behind and you need to like run away in the street. It's a bit like that, but you're running and hopping over fences and like lights are going on when it's dark, you know, at night. It's just so funny. I'm pretty sure that's illegal actually. I don't know if I should be saying this. I'm not encouraging you to do it, but do stupid, like borderline dangerous things like that. So awesome. Or also, I'm not going to explain this example in too detail because it's definitely illegal, but we strapped a flamethrower to the back of a bicycle. That's all I'm going to say. And yeah, like, you know, you get these weed killers, you know, to kill the plants, like weeds in your garden. You get like a small flamethrower that has a little flame like this. We strapped that on the back of a bike. That's all I'm going to say. Or then we got airsoft guns and went to the forest and went, you know, shot each other. Or like stupid things like in high school, I remember one should not play with food, one really should not, but once this kid threw an orange at somebody and the person sort of dodged it and the orange like went splat against the wall, and that orange mark was there on the wall for years and years. It's just like the memories were so awesome. Oh, that's just, yeah, just do things that you enjoy, that make you laugh your head off. Do those things. So I think a lot of teenagers actually suppress their real interests at that age, around 14, because those interests are judged as immature and childish. If it's like doing stupid things with your friends, or, you know, not drinking or not losing your virginity, and then because, you know, you rise up the hierarchy, you have status if you lose your virginity, and you're drinking and stuff like that. So like, I think guys will actually suppress their true desire to laugh at small childish jokes in order to be cool. For example, I was in class, I must have been 14 then, yeah, I was definitely 14, and we were building paper aeroplanes and throwing them in class, and then one girl, who was actually 2 years older than us, but she was actually the most attractive girl in the class, she screamed across the classroom at us, like, "What the hell do you think you're doing? You're 14, grow the hell up." And of course, then we like thought, oh my God, like, what are we doing? We're losers, you know? But in hindsight, we should have kept throwing those bloody paper airplanes because it was awesome and we just wanted to do it. And like, let kids play. Just let the kids play, period. So I think now, if you grow up too quickly, you undergo a sort of forced growth sprint and you miss out on key developmental stages required for a healthy, strong personality. Like, yeah. And for example, my case, when I was around 16 to 18, I made a bit of a mistake. So I wanted to be a rapper, and, you know, in rap culture, you have this sort of hustle, grind mentality where you're like pulling all-nighters to produce music in your basement, and you're grinding, you're hustling, you're trying to prove people wrong. That was a mistake because I learned how to kind of work hard, even though it was sort of deceiving. You know, I pulled a full-nighter on Friday and told myself, you know, I'm grinding, I'm trying to make this music dream work. But then I would come home on school the next day. So I would pull a full-nighter on Thursday to Friday, and then on Friday after school, I would come home and pass out and sleep all night. Like, that's not efficient. That's just not efficient. It's not smart hard work. It's just stupid hard work. But what happened was I spent a lot of those like 2 years, or especially the last year of high school, in my bedroom producing music when I should have been out with friends, engaging with girls, going, you know, out, experiencing different things, but I didn't. And I definitely missed a key developmental stage there because I was trying to grow up too quickly. I was trying to like make millions at the age of 17 or 18, you know. Yeah. Because I wanted status also. I wanted to show people that I could work hard and I could produce something and I could be a rapper, you know. And I see, when I look at some 20, 22-year-olds nowadays around me, you know, my age group, I'm 22 now, and some of them have sort of aged early. You can see it in their countenance, in their facial structure. They look like they have a bit of life sapped out of them. And I think I have an inkling it's because they grew up too early. So, and they sort of rushed really quickly and then fell again because it was too fast. Yeah, and something else. So hence I would advise 14-year-olds to stay childlike, because there's so much time later on to grow up. And I actually think if you grow up steadily and naturally to what you think feels right and feels comfortable in your growth, you become, or as in comfortable, like in order to grow you need to undergo discomfort, but grow at stages you think fit what you can take or what is good for you. If you listen to that and do that steady growth, you become more grown up around 20 to 25 years old, whilst those that matured too rapidly in their teenage years actually plateau at that time and remain like half child and half adult and behave sort of more irresponsibly. And life sort of trips them up, whilst for you, life will roll out more naturally. And I think it's because their growth glitched in their teenage years. It went too fast, like too much that they could handle. And the child within them got kind of stuck because it was being pushed out and never was able to say like a healthy goodbye. It wasn't, not like a goodbye, but it wasn't attended to. It was sort of suppressed and silenced. And because it wasn't able to sort of let go or say goodbye properly and healthily, it sort of stays lingering within them. And then you see this sort of like childlike nature in these grown-up adults. Yeah. And there was something else I wanted to say. Yeah, they grew up too quickly. And I think it's like they grow up really quickly whilst you're only down here, but then later in life they sort of plateau because they kind of stifled their growth and went too quickly and sort of exhausted their capacities and sort of hurt themselves, so they start plateauing whilst you're then reaching up and you're rising above them whilst they're still staying the same. That's sort of how it is. So be patient, and life is a marathon. It's a long-term game. It's not a short-term game, and that's really difficult to understand as a teenager, but trust me on this one. Trust me, please. And also one more thing for teenage boys: try and reduce the amount of pornography you watch, because if you watch it frequently every day for years during your key developmental adolescent stages and processes, like it'll harm you in the long term. It really, really will. So try to reduce it and actually cut it if possible. Don't do it, because you're building this habit and to like sap out your testosterone, and which will make you more unattractive, or it'll prevent your masculinity from developing healthily, and that testosterone energy that you need and which makes you attractive, it'll be sapped out of you if you jerk off too much and watch too much pornography. So in conclusion, the advice I would give to a 14-year-old boy is be patient. Do not fall for the pressure to grow up too quickly that is like imposed on you by the social groups at high school and girls in your age group. Let yourself grow naturally and authentically, because you will outrun the others in life. Like it's like a tortoise versus the hare. If you go slow, you will beat those that are sprinting at your age. So please leave a comment below what kind of advice you would give to a 14-year-old boy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about self-development, dating, Jungian psychology, and how to reduce suffering in life. Thank you for listening.